Okay, so let's talk about teamwork. Okay, when we normally talk about teamwork, we don't necessarily think about it like we should. We think about doing, let's say, your class project. Okay, you get a class project, and there are 5 of you in a class project, and so you do what? You divide up the project, and I'll do my 5th, and you do your 5th, and you do your 5th, and you do your 5th, and we divide it up, and then we write our it's 5-page paper. I write my 1 page and slap it together with your 1 page, with your 1 page, with your 1 page, and then it reads awfully, right? And maybe there's a linking sentence, and sometimes there's not. And it reads in different voices, and the grammatical and formatting errors are completely different, right? And you can tell when, as I'm reading it, I can tell when it's transition. I don't necessarily know who did which, but I can tell where the transition points are. We ought to be thinking about it very differently. Here's a tool belt, okay? I know it looks a little silly.
Lightsaber.
But, yes, it's a lightsaber, okay? So here we have a hammer. Okay? Here we have a ruler. We have one of the most valuable things on earth, duct tape. We have pliers. And we have something to cut with. Okay? Yes, I don't use much tools, I know, I can see by the look on your face. Okay, now, the way we should do this is very different than the way that we do it. When you do your group projects, what you do is you do your part, and then 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 you do your part. And it doesn't work out, it's kind of messy. How should we be thinking about teamwork? Collaborating, doing what?
You have to mix and match. You can't just do one step from the next. You have to use the different pieces.
Good, you mix and match. That is...
Because you have to cut first, and then you have to hammer it.
Right, so let's say we're building a birdhouse. We cut the wood first, and then we drive into... First we measure, right? And then we cut, then we drive into screws. Maybe we fasten something, and then when it's all done, if I've done it, we've got the duct tape out, the duct tape, so that we can put it all together and actually hold it together. Okay? Now, so what we're trying to do when we're dealing with teamwork is what? We're trying to mitigate our weaknesses and maximize. Who said that? Good. And maximize our strength. So, just as an example, let's say you're a hammer. You are a ruler. Okay? You're a lightsaber. You like that, huh? Yeah. Okay? You're duct tape. And you're the pliers. Okay? Okay? Hammer. On a scale of 1 to 10, how well do you hammer things? Pretty good? What's pretty good?
7, 8.
7, 8? That's it? On a scale of 1 to 10, how well do you hammer?
Good.
7, 8? Is that it?
Yeah.
How about 10?
It depends on the person using it.
Okay, no.
Something
You
like
are...
this.
No, not depending on the person using it. You are the hammer.
Oh.
How well do you hammer? 10, right? Okay. Where's my ruler? You're my ruler? How well do you hammer?
Not very well.
Not so well. But you do it really well. Okay. Now, how well do you ruler?
Oh, not very good.
Not very well. Maybe you can kind of do this, right? Okay, so a little bit. So maybe a 2?
Sure.
Okay. How well do you duct tape?
Not very good at all.
Not at all. Okay. How well do you pliers?
Maybe a little bit with the other side.
You got the
Yeah,
on the back.
maybe about 4.
Maybe about 4. How well do you cut through things?
Oh, that's not good.
Now you can do some. You can really just hammer your way into, right? And so it might be ugly, but maybe a 3. Okay, so you're a 10 here, and you're a 4, 2, a 2, a 0, a 4, and a 3. Okay, ruler. How well do you measure things?
10.
A 10. How well do you hammer things?
0.
A 0. You're going to break,
Yeah.
right? How well do you duct tape?
0.
0. How well do you pliers?
0.
0. How well do you cut through things?
1 to 0.
1 to 0.
Depending
Okay.
on
I guess you could jam things down or something, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So how well? So you're really kind of worthless, aren't you?
pretty much.
Except
To measure.
to measure, right? So all you should be doing is Measuring, nothing else. Is that fair? Okay. Where's my duct tape? Your duct tape? Okay. How well do you hammer? That's right. You can do a little bit. Okay. Maybe a 2. I mean, it's not going to be very long to do it. How well do you measure?
Pretty well.
Yeah, you can actually measure pretty well. You might not get the right distances, but you can compare the same distance. Okay. How well do you pliers?
If you make it in the right shape, you can probably get about 4.
A 4.
Yeah,
you're-
you can make some pull out.
Something to hold on and then.
Duct tape's pretty strong.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Okay, you're optimistic. How well do you cut?
0.
0.
And maybe a 1.
But you're a 10 on duct tape.
Yes.
Right, okay, good. Where's my pliers? Pliers? Okay, how well do you hammer? Huh? Like a 1. Okay, how well do you measure? Not very well. I mean, you can go, let's see. You are a 2 pliers, yeah. How many pliers long? Okay, so you're almost 10 inches, okay? So if we know that, we can stack you back to back and maybe a 2. Is that fair? Okay, how well do you duct tape? Not at all. How well do you cut? How well do you cut? I mean, you could bang through something, kind of like this one could. Okay, you're a 10 here, right? Okay. Lightsaber. How well do you cut?
10.
Oh, 10, 11. I mean, you're a lightsaber, right? How well do you hammer?
1.
Yeah, not real. I mean, you could probably like go through something,
Use the back end.
right? To push through something, but it's not exactly the same thing as hammering something down. Okay. How well do you measure? Not really. I mean, you could probably get the distance, but you wouldn't want to like, hey, hold this in place for me, right? How well do you duct tape? Not at all. So 0, and how well do you pliers? 0. So you're kind of worthless too, except for
Cutting and killing people.
cutting and killing people.
And
That's
you're
right.
right, the duct tape's the most powerful.
Isn't it? Duct tape's the most powerful, it turns out. Okay, so
Duct tape fixes everything.
let's go to your papers. Let's talk about how that should work. What you do is you slap together your paper, and you slap together, and you slap together, and you slap together. When you should be, you're doing the research, or no, you're doing the research, you're writing something, you're editing, you're holding everybody responsible and accountable, okay? And you're doing the final tweaks, right? Use your strengths. That's what teamwork's about. Because if you're using your strengths, you got a 10, a 10, a 10, a 10, and a 10 for those purposes. But if you're all doing your individual purposes, what do we say you were? You're a 10 with this and a 1 on everything else. I've had people that have written papers that way, right? Like that section of the paper was like, yeah, you did your research, but you can't write, and you can't spell, and you can't, I mean, it's really bad, right? That's how teamwork works. And it works in organizations the same way, right? The person that's an accountant thinks everything is quantifiable, right? The person that's a people person thinks everything has to do with how people are feeling, and, you know, who needs numbers, right? Let's just talk about, now the truth is somewhere in between. We need each of these. And that's the way that we need to start thinking about teamwork. Does that make sense?